Man gets robbed in all boys town floodwaters. Giselle top grade 6 student encourages fellow students, and youths walk from Georgetown to Linden. Greetings and welcome to this edition of Headline News Update. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Malini Crandon scored 528 marks in the National Grade 6 exam, topping her school and earning a place at the Queen's College. Esther Sobers spoke with Miss Crandon and brings us that story.
Elated, enthusiastic, and proud are some of the sentiments Malini Crandon expressed. Crandon is a student of Georgetown Institute who attained 528 marks, which helped her to garner the top 10 spot at the National Grade 6 Assessment exams. The outstanding student attributes her success to her teachers, God, and family.
I have to study very hard. I have to do your homework.
Crandon, who has been attending the private institution from the nursery level, was stunned when she first heard of the news of her performance. Though Crandon is yet to decide what she wants to become, she, however, shares these thoughtful sentiments for other students who may have not performed exceedingly well in their grade 6 assessment.
I would like to say to them, it's alright, don't discourage yourself. You always have a second chance, and when you have the opportunity, take it and grasp it tight. And hold on to it, big things will happen.
This year's top performer was Dave Chauchi, a student of Graham's Hall, Venetia Lal of CV News, who has attained 532 marks out of 536 marks. Also, two students secured the same amount of marks to make the top 3 spots. They were Sarita Somai of Success Elementary and Ajlana Maraj of Marian Academy. For Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. A 26-year-old nurse was found dead at a hostel in Madhya. The young woman was identified as Shanice Apple of Lot 323, Block 22, Wismer Housing Scheme, Linden. Reports that Apple, who is a nurse at the Madhya Hospital, was last seen on Tuesday morning after working the night shift. It is suspected that the woman committed suicide since she was allegedly found hanging in her room at the hostel where she stays while working in the mining town. When contacted, Apple's family in Linden said that they last spoke with her on Sunday and everything seemed to be fine. An investigation into this matter is ongoing. Many folks doubted that they would do it, and many more didn't believe that they could finish the task as 178 Adventist youths set out to walk from Georgetown to Linden. Wendell Jeffrey reports.
What? Really? Joking? Walking? Are you all crazy? Why? Those were some of the replies that Director Lennox Jason said he heard when he and his pathfinders decided to hike for 6 or 7 miles from Georgetown to Linden. On Saturday night last, around 8 p.m., 100 members of the Pathfinder and Master Guide clubs donned their haversacks and sleeping gear and began the long trek from the Seventh-day Adventist headquarters in Queenstown. Walking through the night for 2 nights, the hike ended at 8 a.m. on Monday morning at the Linden Technical Institute. Director Jason said, "We hiked for 2 consecutive nights without sleeping and resting during the day. All the folks who left Georgetown arrived in Linden, 30 of whom actually walked the entire distance. The walk time was clocked at 21 hours and 47 seconds. The Pathfinder and Master Guide clubs make up the Seventh-day Adventist paramilitary organization, and these kinds of activities are engaged in as part of the association's focus on physical and mental well-being of the members. This was the longest hike in the association's history. However, hiking is a frequent occurrence for the group. In 2015, they walked for 26 miles from Georgetown to Parika. In 2017, they walked for 17 miles from Grove to Kurukuru. In 2018, they walked for 20 miles from the Berbice Bridge to Kildonan. And in 2019, they walked the 67 miles from Georgetown to Linden. The youth director of the Seventh-day Adventist Church is Pastor Marvin Smith, and he also participated in the walk. Director Jason is quoted as saying, "With God, all things are possible. With God's help and strength, there is nothing that we can't do. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Coming up after the break, a man stuck in floodwaters robbed at gunpoint, and ex-cop found with ganja in Berbice.
Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have so much waste to dispose of in the landfill? Well, composting can help us reduce the waste we dispose of by turning our organic waste into compost, which can be used to improve the quality of our soil.
Composting is very simple and convenient.
You can compost using organic waste such as vegetable skins,
or fallen leaves and cut grass and put this in a composting bin or pile.
Compost can help your garden grow healthy plants while reducing your volume of waste. It's a really good way to keep our communities clean and healthy.
So, let's all start composting our waste.
Find out how easy it is. Call us on 226-2189 or 227-8429 or visit our website moc.gov.ui. A message from the Ministry of Communities in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Welcome back. On Tuesday, an ex-police detective was nabbed with a large quantity of cannabis during an operations by the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit in Berbice. Kushial Grant, 28 of Number 2 Village, Kanchi, Berbice, was arrested after he was found with 94.3 kilograms of ganja in his possession. In addition, Carrie Charles Grimmon, 34 of Nakeke Street, New Amsterdam, Berbice, was also found in possession of 140 grams. Both men were arrested and are expected to be charged with possession of cannabis for the purpose of trafficking. Following the successful operation in Berbice, KANU says that it will continue to tighten its grip on narcotics distributors throughout the country. Only yesterday, the coalition cabinet approved a proposal to remove the 3 years custodial sentences for persons who are found in possession of 30 grams of marijuana or less. This is yet to be rectified by the parliament. Hours of rain caused several parts of Georgetown to be impassable due to flooding. Esther Sobers visited some of the affected areas and filed this report.
In less than 24 hours, residents in South Romfeld, Northeast La Penitence, All Boys Town and other sections of Georgetown were affected by extreme flooding and an alleged robbery after a driver was stuck in his vehicle in the floodwaters. The residents of All Boys Town took to the streets to vent their frustration about the floodwaters, along with cordoning off sections of the street to avoid drivers from traversing the area.
Since 2005, I think last year or year before the last Christmas Eve, now we ever get back this year, this amount of water. It is usually be in the street and in the yard, but not in the house.
Meanwhile, a resident of Northeast La Penitence highlighted that the drains in his area has not been desilted for years, which is one of the contributing factors to the flood.
How often are the drains desilted?
Precisely, what, a year ago?
A year ago?
Mm-hmm.
Since City Council desilted drains?
Right, the last time. But most people do the little thing, you know.
A visit was also made to the sluice on Princess and Water Streets, which was operational and will remain opened until 12 a.m. to help drain the flood waters. Persons around Georgetown can expect more rainfalls tomorrow morning, somewhere between 5.0 to 1.5 millimeters. For Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. And now for your regional news. Recent corruption scandals and an economic crisis have led to cuts which were aimed at reducing violence in the slums of Rio. Many innocent school children are getting caught in the crossfires. Sky News reports.
They're the best part of 1,000 favelas in Rio, vast sprawling slums, many controlled by drug gangs. Some of the favelas are worse than others, but all are violent. Here, police raids and gang battles are common. But it's the scale of the violence that beggars belief, and you have to remind yourself that this isn't actually a war zone. Stuck in the middle is the Ware school in Mare. It's surrounded by narrow alleyways where the fighting often takes place. This is the audio of the latest firefight. Teachers recorded the shooting while they tried to comfort the terrified children.
And is this factions fighting each other, or is this the police?
No, police.
Yvonne de Mello is the head. She's been here for 20 years.
Okay, so that's like a war.
That's the war, yes. Yeah. Last year was 159 days. This year is already 45 days.
That's incredible.
No, it's incredible. It's amazing, it's amazing.
That's unbelievable. I mean, I've been in Mosul,
yeah,
and it's not as much as that.
This was all day. This is only 2 minutes and 15 that we record, but to go over all day, nobody could leave home. Nobody could leave home.
Ela sabe como perguntar. Então o tema é consciência.
Yvonne has to split her time at work. Half is teaching, half is counselling.
The effect of the children, start with the children, is they get paralyzed, you know. Many lose the voice, they could not talk. The eyes gazed, they're not possible to look at you. Others get so scared that they have convulsions.
Others get aggressive.
Right.
Others cry. Today, I have, this school has 308 students. I have half of the school traumatized. We have to go up there. Yeah, you'll go with her. Yeah, okay.
It's difficult to illustrate what a no-go zone this really is. They checked the alleyway for gang members, then ushered me into a neighbouring home. On the roof is a sign. It says, "School, don't shoot." That's for the police helicopters. They're in danger from everyone.
They actually had to clear the street and make sure it was safe for us to actually go in. And the school is, what, 15 feet away? And they still had to make sure that the alleyway was clear because the armed gunmen, we've seen them, are on the other side of that wall and the other side of this, and they're in different factions. And that's why the school finds itself right in the middle of a turf war every single day. So you're basically safe within your area?
Oh, you're safe, yeah, safe. But you never know if you're safe.
The teachers barely leave the school, keeping within a few metres. The government's violent crackdown on crime gangs hasn't, according to Yvonne, made life any better. Rather, it's worse, she says. And she, like many here, are critical of what is happening.
I don't think you have to arm the people. You don't think you have to have a government that talks about violence every day, talk about killing every day. That's not the issue. That's not the issue. You have to put money in prevention. You have to put money in other things, not talk about guns all the time.
The children of some of the gang members do attend this school. And in the favelas, many would routinely join the gangs when they leave. But 98% of all the students who have graduated from Were have not. Education, not violence, helped them decide. Stuart Ramsey, Sky News, Rio de Janeiro.
And internationally, video of 2 Bradley and 2 Abrams tanks arriving on Tuesday. Trump, delighted by the Bastille Day parade he attended in France, now plans to bring something similar to Washington, D.C. NBC reports.
Spotted in southwest Washington today, 2 Bradleys and a pair of Abrams tanks arriving in town over the weekend, all ahead of a July 4th celebration that's already creating fireworks. President Trump beefing up the traditional festivities with a display of military might.
We're going to have planes going overhead, the best fighter jets in the world. We're going to have some tanks stationed outside.
The president, delighted by the Bastille Day parade he attended in France, is now bringing something similar to Washington. Flyovers featuring the F-35 and probably Air Force One. Near the stage, it's VIPs who get the best view for a spectacle that has some critics concerned the president's hijacking the holiday, putting politics over patriotism and forcing taxpayers to foot the bill. One Democrat deriding it as a vanity project.
Mr. President, how about a hot dog and a hamburger rather than an extravaganza that divides the country?
And another headline here tonight after the Supreme Court temporarily blocked the administration's efforts to add a controversial question about citizenship to the 2020 census. We learned late today the census will be printed without that question, a victory for groups that had been fighting the White House.
And that is all for this edition of Headline News Update. Tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another episode. Until then, like, follow, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube pages, or visit our website at headlinenewsguyana.com for more news. Take care.